Right, I hope I'm central and in frame, and we've got Jorg Sprav on there. We get to him in a minute. Now, I've been the last almost 2 days trying to come up with, trying to find information on this knife ban, trying to find out what's happening in order to see how we can plan for the future. They've released a great load of stuff at the moment, and it's more to do with their strategies, information, crime figures, the socio-economic background between the drugs, the ethnicities and the reasons for it in the cities. So it's more to do with a preliminary thing that's been released at the moment. But all I keep getting are questions: what can we do, what can we do, what can we do? We can do a lot of things. There is a possibility of a sort of petition. The only snag with that is you might get your 100,000 signatures, but all you'll do is you get them to debate. We know what I like with debating. They've already got a solution what they want to do, and they're trying to do it politicians' way. That's not really. I can't see much. I can't see much traction with that, to be honest. The only way that we're going to get there is actually physically sit them in front of us to try and talk to them. So in terms of strategies, I've got some written down. We'll get off him running now on silent, because I'll try and get to Jorg in a minute. I think that the most impactful thing that you can do is to actually book the 10-15 minutes with your local MP in order to actually put the flea in his ear or her ear. I think that's going to be the most effective thing for each and every one of you, if you can find the time and get the book in at this short notice. Now don't forget, now normally these things are done 2 weeks ahead of their time, and you want it now is the thing. So I've already had a word with one chap and he's got his booked. Okay, so it can be done. I think that's the most effective thing that any one person can do. As a whole, we can all email to our local MP, so the emails are coming through. Now, generally speaking, I don't think the general population are going to be doing much input in terms of email, whereas if we actually, guys, if you pull your finger out your ass and make an email, you'll be doing an email when most people won't. So email your local MP and email Amber Rudd. Everybody's got to do this. What else can I say? You could, I could say, well, I mostly make fixed blades. I'm not too worried about spring assisted little knives. Generally speaking, are not what's used. It's a shame when they are, but the most volume is done. Cheap kitchen knives, cheap shanks, cheap rubbish Rambo knives, £10 from warehouses. That's the main problem, and they're going after stuff that they think has a problem to it. The 19 listed of things, they had a problem with ninjas in the 80s. You can tell it. They had a problem. If it was ninja, they banned it. They've got blowguns on there. Remember pea shooters? So, are they going to be doing sensible propositions? No. The only way we're going to get them is if we contact them and let them know on concerns, and let them know how ineffective certain bannings are going to be, and how it will affect us, or how minimal their impact's going to be with whatever they're trying to propose. The other thing you can do, if you can't get an appointment with your MP, if you're pretty busy on the old social media, pass comment on it, social media, wherever you can. So keep it civil, okay? Keep it like it's an educated comment that you're leaving there, okay? Try and bring in their own facts and figures, as opposed to just venting an opinion. What you need to do is use every character you can up, if it's a restricted amount of characters you're not, and really plan your comment. Spend 10 minutes on it rather than just brain fart. Okay, literally construct the sentence, being that yada 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 is, and it seems that every time I see a knife seizure, it's all cheap kitchen knives. It's all cheap kitchen knives. What about artisans? What about fish and shoot shops? If they got to post it away, how you can support them? What about fencing clubs? You know, what about curios? What about collectors? Most of the stuff has never been used. You know, for how many years that they've been stuck in a drawer for 50, 60 years. That was okay to own, and all of a sudden it's not. You know, rather than just vent, try and bring in something specific. Turn that off a second because it's overheating. Noisy. So keep it civil. You can Twitter your local MP, you can Twitter Amber Rudd, and there's that bloke Sadiq Khan as well, who's been off the radar for how many days and been sending his deputy out. He's left some ridiculous statements on there. Who would carry a knife? A sensible person who's a responsible adult, that's who. So the legal carry of a Swiss Army knife is now being frowned on, is it? It's, you know, the statements they come out with have no bearing in the law as it stands at the moment. Okay, just do what you're best at. If you can disappear onto your phone and give it 10 minutes and leave a reasonably constructive comment on a social media, then please just do that and make the volume of engagement as high as we possibly can. Now there's jumping on other sites, but if you can be as constructive as possible, put as much effort in as possible to create your own post on your own platform, will have a little bit more legs to it. Okay, so you can create your own thread, your own little 60-second video on Instagram, your own piece on your Facebook, or if you're in a group on Facebook. Let's keep the momentum up, let's get the volume running, let's try and engage other people at work. I've tried to impress upon people who are in similar lines, like plumbers, electricians, mechanics, that, you know, it may not be specific to you, but we need your support. Your view, your MP, your email will also be greatly appreciated, so you can spread the word out to people that you know. And if you can actually make the video yourself, you know, it just proves there's that much more effort. If there's more effort in it, then there's more conviction for the people watching it that, hey, this actually means something to them, as opposed to a passing comment on social media. It actually looks like you've got more invested in it. Alright. Now obviously, to do a video is one thing. I've been raising my head above the parapet. I'm probably well known. I mean, as in the local blue shop down the road know about the guy up the end of the estate who makes noise with a ramshackle garage. I'm known. Now, if you're forces or security or police, and you might have a you might have a YouTube or a Facebook, and you don't necessarily need to show your face. You can do a tabletop with a Swiss Army knife in shot, and you can leave your points well made, well constructed sentences, a decent argument, and you can do a tabletop review with only showing your hands. You don't need to show yourself if you're in a line of work that your identity going against the government is, or even passing a view on it if you're employed in that area. A tabletop is better than nothing. But if you can actually be on camera in order that you come across as a reasonable person with a reasonable argument who's got points laid down, you know, it just makes everything more convincing. So, you know, cover your concerns, do be truthful, Okay, try and come up with facts as opposed to opinions, and try and encourage. It's one of them things that I'm not necessarily that good, because I'm not trying to be the sold out corporate management type buttling red coat person with the high, leave a comment at the end, make sure, but you really need to engage anybody who's watching your video to leave a comment yourself and then share. And this constant proliferation afterwards, after the video's done, is something I want to talk about in the next few minutes. Okay, the way of sharing has slightly evolved on YouTube. Now, you need to learn about something called end cards, and I would encourage you to go on a YouTube tutorial and learn about end cards. It'll take you a few minutes, and what I want you to be able to do is create a playlist of YouTube videos that are covering this subject, or YouTube videos that show the fact that the coppers there knows they've been stuffing shanks in the dirt under the hedge in the park, and he pulls out another kitchen knife and puts it in the grey tube, you know, these things here, look. You know, the evidence tubes, alright? There's something out there with one of them on, and, you know, these things are not handmade knives. They're not, generally speaking, the old tool in the shed that's been handed down for years. They've just gone in the blooming kitchen and pulled it out the thing, stuck it in their trousers and disappeared out the door. That's the general situation. Okay, and there's loads of videos out there that cover things like that. Now, by being savvy, by being clever, by being a bit diligent at the end of your videos, you can set up these end cards so that the viewer, after they've watched your video, while they're still in the same frame of mind, the next one pops up in the next one, and we get view time up across YouTube or across Facebook or across wherever we can, that this gets momentum. Now, it's not whether or not we can change their minds now, but this momentum, all these views, all these linked videos, all these playlists that we create, so one after another, will continue. So it'll be, it's the legacy of when Amber Rudd, when Theresa May, when Sadiq Khan, when your MP looks back in 5 years' time and they put through what they put through, and what we're saying has come to pass, i.e. they made it utterly ridiculous difficult for people to post to houses, and they banned it, just how awkward it's been, and when they look through the figures at the end of it, well, actually, it did make that all difference, actually. Told you so. That body of work, of all that we've done, will be there on the YouTube, generally speaking, forever, and keep building. We need as much as we can, however we can do it. If we can email them, we'll email them. If we can sit them down and talk to them, we'll sit them down and talk to them. If we can up our viewership, if we can actually do your first video on YouTube, now that'll be a victory for you. Get off your ass and do one, alright? If you're actually looking at yourself and you've been on YouTube for 3 years and you haven't actually made a video yet, or you haven't done very many, or you haven't tackled a serious subject, I would encourage you to make the effort and do it, because it'll make you better at what you do. It'll raise your game, and it'll put your money where your mouth is, because unless we all stand together, irrespective of whether I'm a knife maker, or he's in a fencing club, or he goes shooting and he needs a Grolic knife because he's a deer stalker, or they do medieval reenactment, it doesn't matter. Okay? Everybody's got to say something about what this is doing. Because, what's the phrase? Evil triumphs when good men do nothing. I'm not doing nothing. I've been 2 days trying to figure out things that I can do to put on a video to encourage you to get off your backside and do something. Alright? If you could do a playlist, there's plenty of vids out there. I'm going to mention Schola Gladiatoria, so that's Matt Easton, I think it is. Weapon Collector, Mark's done one. I've done one. And even some sort of social event guy in America, Ben Shapiro. He's a bit like Piers Morgan sort of thing, you know, he just passes comment on stuff, and he does, what do they call them things, talks at colleges. So there's a Ben Shapiro one out there as well. I've contacted as many people as I possibly can. So there's people like Scalagrim. We got a video off of him last time, he's got like 200,000 views. Anything that we can get anybody to do any kind of decent video with a well-rounded argument, that's what we want, and build as big a tidal wave on this as possible. So we actually make the government out to be as stupid as we know they are. Okay? This is a socio-economic problem. This is an inner city problem. This is bored kids. This is kids that are disenfranchised. This is kids that got nothing to look forward to. This is lack of after-school clubs. This is poor performing schools. This is a breakdown in families. This is a breakdown in society. They got nothing to do. They're watching violent things. They're all connected on their phone, and they've got gang violence cooking off, and the Bloods versus the Crips, and we know what the problem is. Why can't they get it? Right? So that's the sort of passion that we want. That's the sort of accurate, directed conversations that we're trying to raise. Come on, let's do it. Okay? And however good a deal that we can get by actually influencing the MPs as they're discussing this over the next few days, or even post mess up, alright? They put through what they want, and you look back in 3 years and they go, well, yeah, we didn't have to do that, did we? Whether we can get a U-turn or not, we can actually, you know, there's a Prime Minister that I mentioned his name, and if I say Iraq, everybody knows exactly who I'm on about, aren't we? Right? That legacy lives with them forever, where they dropped the ball, or they did something they shouldn't. And this, I think, could be something that Amber Rudd could look back on in years to come and rue the day that she never thought about ringing up Heine Haynes, ringing up B.A. Blades, ringing up Ray Mears Bushcraft, ringing up Owen Bush, ringing up Will Lord, because he might want to post a flint knife to someone, picking the 5 biggest makers, Ben Orford, okay, sticking them in a room and doing a weekend in a conference room with them. Has she? No. Will she regret it? Let's hope we make her regret that she hasn't. Because in time to come, this body of videos that I'm trying to get you to do, or this body of emails I'm trying to get you to write, is going to stand there as evidence. You know, they told us, we told them, you know, and they didn't listen. Okay, so please try and do a video. Please do end cards. Please try and create a playlist. If you don't know what I'm on about, look on YouTube for tutorials on end cards and playlists, and try and get your viewing up, try and get your view time up, try and get your engagement up, so this has a little bit more of a tidal wave. And this is why I want to talk about Yorgi Spray. Now, are we still up there? I am back. So, we all remember Yorgi Spray. Now, Yorgi Spray is the big German bodybuilder bloke with the catapults, and he does the automatic ones with the stuff built out of plywood. And of all the people on YouTube, I put Yorgi Spray, Yorg Sprav, I put Scalagrim, and someone like Schola Gladiatorial as the people that we want fighting for viewership, fighting for view time, fighting to get some influence in YouTube. Now, what this guy is doing at the moment, you don't necessarily have to do what I'm saying here, alright? but this is the sort of stuff that's going on. He's managed to get the manager of the area on YouTube that our videos go in removed, technically, and he's talking directly to someone more important. York seems to have a little bit more legal savvy or business acumen than I would, and something that I was considering trying to do, I don't know, a Facebook group or a YouTube group or some sort of affiliate joining thing or some sort of linked buddy group, but he's already done something, and he's going to have far more impetus, far more momentum than I would ever have. One, his channel's bigger. Two, he's very business minded, and he's getting this thing called YouTube Union, and it's just in its infancy. Now, you can watch this video and you can share this video, and it's 20 minutes long, okay? And he's allowed you to use this one, join the YouTubers Union. So straight away, there's a 20-minute video that you can put in a playlist, that you can put on an end card, and that you can have engaging people that are watching your channel. So if there's nothing else, you can add this to a playlist, okay? The group is on Facebook. As I say, at the moment it's a bit in its infancy, but what this is, okay, the more influence that we have across any area is better than not fighting for it across the social platforms and the social networks, okay? So please have a read of it, look at it, see that it means for you, but at the very least you can use this video in order to set up your playlist, in order to get more engagement, in order to get more people talking about this, okay? The more videos we get, I've been doing this for like 9 years. I've never had a viral vid, never had one go viral. All of us need one. One video. It's approached on a few news channels. They do their own thing, but if we don't do it, it won't be the chance. Not that we're going to be trying to get one viral vid, but any way that we can to raise any awareness, we should be doing it. If you haven't done a video yet on YouTube, now's your time. If you haven't made an appointment to see your MP and you reckon you could do it and put 2 words together for 10 minutes and sit down in front of someone, I mean, you know, get yourself a plan, write it all down. You know, I'm not very happy about this postal thing. It's got nothing to do with posted to the address. The only reason that those things never work is because they never did an age check anyway. You know, I'm doing my age checks because I'm getting their passport photo and then with a selfie. So that's an age check. I check them online. It's not a ticky box. It's not a shop front on the thing and they're going accept Nick Dad's party card. Okay. So when it turns up and the people who are posting it on these cheap arse websites, they're only posting it first class or second class, they're not using special delivery, go to your MP, say, why can't we use special delivery? Because it's signed for. So when the postman gets there, it's signed for. We've done the age check. You know, it's so obvious. The law is there already in place. Do not sell to one under 18. Right, one age check. We don't need them. No, sir. I'm not interested then. 80% of my stuff I just bat away because they won't send an age check in. That's kids trying. They don't get nowhere. Alright? Passport. Photo driver's license. Where you come to the door and pick it up. My first customer, I said it before, I said it again, my first customer was a policeman. Came to the door. Done. I've had other policemen. Generally speaking, they turn up. I've had forces. I get their natural forces card, and then once I've done it, I delete the card and leave a message on there that this person is forces. They've sent their ID card in. That's fine, it's good enough. I've got a record of it. So if I could do the age checks, why couldn't the people who weren't doing it? If I can send everything by special delivery, why can't they? If I can send stuff packaged that it actually says contents, why can't they? The problem of stuff being left at the door, they haven't written on there what it is, so the poor postman doesn't know what's in there, does he? Of course he doesn't. Okay? Decent postage, thorough age check. What's the problem? There's some information for you. Get off your backside, do something, because if you don't do anything, if you don't do anything, when everybody else is busting the gut trying, you know, you cannot leave it to everybody else. Let's go for my 6 blades out, and I hope for your support.